issued by the Commission. Along with the guidelines, Commission has provided a form in which Commission's advice is to be sought. And the recommendations of the CVO, that should be very, very specific. You cannot say it appears to be a case Commission may decide. No, you have to say whether it is a vigilance case or not. Cases there, whether major parenting proceedings are required, minor parenting proceedings are required, or administrative action is required. Okay. Any questions till now?
Sir, in case there is a recommendation of CVO for major penalty, then in inquiry the person gets exonerated by DA, then will it constitute CVO and with DA? And we send to CVC in case where it is not to be sent, E7 and below.
No, you mean to say that in a vigilance case, CVO, the officer was below Commission jurisdiction.
Yes.
CVO said initiate major PP.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then major PP was initiated. After that, the officer was
exonerated after inquiry
by the
DA.
okay. Okay.
Then in this case, is it a difference of opinion between DA and CVO?
If there is a difference of opinion between the DA and CVO, the case will have to come to the Commission.
Then will it be FSA or SS?
SSA.
Second stage.
You see, whenever there is a difference of opinion in a vigilance case or in a case between the DA and CVO, the case has to be sent to the Commission for advice. Yes. Okay. Now, yeah. Yeah.
Suppose that the case is a composite case involving a board level office. Then for FSA, who is writing the CVO's comment, who is writing the DA's comment? Both ministry level or say?
You see, in a composite case, the highest authority will approach for advice. So, ministry would seek comment from you about below board level officials, and the complete case would come to the Commission for advice. You will give your comments and your views to the ministry. Ministry will give its own views about the board level officers, then the case would come. Okay. Any other questions? Now we come to second stage advice. As I told that after first stage advice is given by the Commission, then you have to approach the Commission. Excuse me, you please pay attention here. You are all colleagues, you will be talking among yourself. You will get days, months and years to talk about different things. You can ask questions.
Not clear in the composite case, if a board level officer is there, example,
Yeah.
board level officer is there, an E9 level officer is there, and an E6 is also there.
Yeah.
In that case, as you said, that the CVO will give recommendation regarding below E7, that is E6 officer. The
E9 also.
E9 CVC, sir, E9 comes under the CVC, E8 and above.
I told you clearly, that's why I am saying please pay attention to me, otherwise things won't be clear to you. Okay. If it is an composite case where a single officer is there who is covered under Commission jurisdiction, whether he is a board level officer or whether he is an E8, E9 level officer, forget about that. Then the case has to be sent to the Commission for advice, complete case. For E6, for E9, for board level. All three action would be taken only after obtaining Commission's advice. You cannot bifurcate the case into below Commission jurisdiction and within Commission jurisdiction. Clear? For E6 also, Commission's advice is required, only then you have to take action. Is it clear to everybody? Okay. Now we come to second stage advice. When we give our first stage advice to you, After that, suppose it is an advice for initiation of major penalty proceedings or minor penalty proceedings, then commission second stage advice would be required before taking a final call. Now we have given certain exemptions. Exemption is that when you are taking an action which is in accordance with the commission's first stage advice. So, for example, commission said initiation of minor penalty proceedings. You are imposing a minor penalty. Then no need to approach the commission for second stage advice. Impose the penalty and send a copy of the final order to the commission. Commission said initiation of major penalty proceedings. You initiate major penalty proceedings, issue charge sheet. If you deny the charges, you appoint an inquiry officer. After appointment of inquiry officer and after he has conducted inquiry, you consider the inquiry report, and if you decide to impose a major penalty, go ahead, impose a penalty, forward a copy of the final order to the commission. But if you decide to deviate from the commission's advice, suppose commission said initiation of major penalty proceedings, and you want to impose a minor penalty, or you want to take administrative action, or you want to exonerate the officer, in that case commission's second stage advice is required. Similarly, in case of minor penalty, if you want to exonerate or you want to take some administrative action, commission's advice is required. One thing I would like to clarify, when a charge sheet has been issued, either it should end in imposition of a statutory penalty or exoneration. Administrative action like warning, etc., it should not be the end result of a formal charge sheet. Exoneration. Any charge sheet issued should either end up in formal penalty or exoneration. Clear? Warning, counseling, recordable warning or unrecordable warning, all these things, they are simply against the rules. Very clear. Now, because this presidential I am skipping because it does not concern you, it concerns ministry, because board level officers are presidential appointees. So you are not required to go to UPSC for presidential appointee. You would be handling only this non-presidential appointee. So if a penalty is being imposed which is in accordance with the commission's advice, then you have to simply issue the final order and inform the commission. If you are proposing to take an action which is at variance with the commission's advice, then you should approach the commission for second stage advice, and then take action on the basis of commission's advice. As I already told you, if it is a case of difference of opinion between the DA and CBO, then the case would come to the commission. And it is also applicable to composite cases. It is also applicable to those cases where CBI had investigated and the commission's advice was sought. Some people are under the impression, we have received communication, sir, this case was investigated by CBI, so we thought that commission's advice is not required. It is not the case. If it is a case of an officer who is covered under commission jurisdiction, if it is a case of difference of opinion between the DA and CBO, even in CBI investigated cases, advice of the commission is required. Okay. Now, when you approach the commission for second stage advice, what are the documents that you have to send? A copy of the charge sheet, inquiry officer's report, views of the DA, views of the CVO, and daily order sheet, all other documents, deposition folders, and documents, POCO brief. Now, one more thing to tell you, when you approach the commission for first stage, so there are occasions when the DA or CVO, he may have different opinion. Then you can approach the commission for reconsideration of advice on first stage, but only once, within a period of 2 months from the date of commission's advice, and with new facts. It should not be based on the same facts. You should be able to bring to notice that these are the new facts, these are additional facts which were not considered earlier. That is why commission is being approached for reconsideration of its advice. Reconsideration of advice at second stage is not permissible. We will not entertain any such proposal. Clear?
कुछ न्यू फैक्ट्स आते हैं उसके बाद भी बस
अगर सेकंड स्टेज एडवाइस के बाद न्यू फैक्ट्स आ रहे हैं तो इट मींस के आपने इतने सालों तक जो किया आपने कोई काम ही नहीं किया. अगर you conducted investigation, then issued charge sheet, you considered charge sheet reply, you conducted departmental inquiry, then DA took a view at first stage and second stage, CVO took a view at first stage, second stage. Even then, if you say some new facts have come to light now, what were you doing all these years? So there is no chance of any new fact coming to light at that stage. So reconsideration of second stage advice is not permissible.
Second stage advice is question.
Yeah.
Sir, ये second stage advice has to be supplied to CEO for taking any action.
Yeah.
Then again, if CEO is asking for the for comments of CVO, what has been sent to commission for advice? Because the first
see, he may be asking for the moon.
Yes.
And he would be asking, especially if he knows that he has done something wrong and a penalty would be imposed. So he would try to delay the inevitable. He will adopt delaying tactics. You have to go by the rule book.
What he is interpreting is
He might be interpreting anything. You have provided him a copy of the commission second stage advice.
yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Now you get his views. If he says, I want this document, not permissible, you give your views within 15 days. If you do not have anything to say, we will consider it as you have nothing to say, we will issue final order. That's all. Yeah. You see, for everything there has to be reasonability. Principle of natural justice should not become cause of injustice to the case. Justice has to be done.
But what
So,
he is relying on the
he may say anything. He may say anything. It's not required to be given. Whatever he had to say, he has already said during the course of inquiry.
yes.
After that, he has given 2 more opportunities. His cross-examination by the examination by the IO, general examination,
Yes. Yes.
plus CO's brief is there, based on PO's brief.
Yes.
So, the final version comes from the CO. What else he wants?
He wants to see the comments
Well,
of the
even it will go on endlessly. He knows that penalty is to be imposed. Who wouldn't want to delay something adverse being done against him? Huh? So it is just a delaying tactic. Okay. Now we come to the next part. I'm sorry that your lunch is getting delayed, but I think this is more important. Pardon? Okay. So then next comes the prosecution sanction. Because we are discussing with how interaction with the commission, so you have to approach the commission for prosecution sanction also. Now, commission's advice is required in respect of prosecution sanction which has been sought under Section 19 of PC Act and Section 197 of CRPC. In case prosecution sanction is to be accorded in the name of President, then advice of the Commission is required whether the disciplinary authority agrees with the views of the investigating agency or not. Even if they agree, then Commission's advice is required. But since you are PSU, so in your case it is not applicable because presidential appointee means board level appointee. For that, ministry is the appropriate authority to approach the Commission for advice. Now, in case of non-presidential appointee, the competent authority, if it does not agree with the views of the investigating agency who is seeking prosecution sanction, then Commission is to be approached for advice. If the CBI or any investigating agency, if they are seeking prosecution sanction and you want to give prosecution sanction against a non-presidential appointee, then you need not approach the Commission. But in case of difference of opinion, Commission is to be approached. Now, one more thing, that sometimes what happens, that the state investigating agency or state police, they also investigate a case against a central government employee or against an employee of a PSU belonging to central government. In that case, as per rules, they should come for prosecution sanction through CBI, not directly. That is the rule position. But in 90% of the cases, this is violated. And PSUs are also, they are entertaining it. But the rule position is that, as on date is that they should come through CBI. Now, previous sanction of competent authority is required in respect of Section 19 and 197 of CRPC, but there is a difference between the two, that if the investigating agency is prosecuting a person or you want to prosecute a person under Section 197 of CRPC, then for public sector employees, prior sanction is not required. It is required only in case of center or state government employees. Prior sanction is required only in respect of PSUs, only for Section 19 of PC Act. For Section 197 of CRPC, prior sanction of the competent authority in respect of PSUs, bench, etc. is not required. So that difference you have to keep in mind. If somebody approaches you, you have to take a call accordingly. Then prosecution sanction is required in respect of serving employee as well as a retired employee. Because the word used is who is or was an employee. So for a retired employee also, if the case has been registered under Section 19 of PC Act, then prosecution sanction is required. Now for prosecution sanction, a decision is to be taken within a period of 3 months from the date of receipt of request by the disciplinary authority. In case views of a law officer, that is the Attorney General, Solicitor General, etc., if his views are required, in that case prosecution sanction should be given within a period of maximum of 4 months. There are a few things that are to be kept in mind while considering the request for prosecution sanction. That representation from the accused is not to be entertained. Normally, the prosecution sanction, these things, they are confidential, you should not know about it, but they come to know that a case has come against me in which prosecution sanction has been sought by mostly by CBI in case of central PSUs. And he gives a representation that I have heard that a prosecution sanction has been given against me or is being considered. So this is my representation. At that stage, representation from the accused is not to be entertained by the competent authority. Only the version of the version that he has given during the course of investigation, that is to be considered. Any fresh representation should not be entertained. Then whatever material has been collected during investigation, that should be presented before the competent authority by the investigating agency, and that is to be considered by the competent authority. Competent authority is empowered to seek clarification from the inquiry officer or investigating officer, whatever you may call it. But the investigating officer cannot be asked to re-investigate the case. That is also not permissible. Sir, all the documents, as I said, they are to be sent. The competent authority has to scrutinize the documents properly, and while taking a decision, the public interest should be kept in mind. Sometimes what happens that they say prosecution section is not granted, that the person is the first time that he has been found involved in this case and he has got a clean record for the last 10 years, 15 years of service and all that. That should not be the ground for taking a decision. Merits of the case and public interest should be the deciding factor.
Sir, I've got a question here. So far as prosecution sanction is concerned, who is the competent authority? Is it the disciplinary authority or the appointing?
Pardon?
So far as prosecution sanction is concerned,
Yeah.
who is the competent authority, sir? Whether it is the disciplinary authority or the appointing authority?
No, actually, it is for the organization to decide who would be the competent authority. Now, but the basic principle is that the authority who is competent to remove the person from service would be the competent authority to grant prosecution sanction. It is given in the PC Act also. In case of any doubt, you have to just think that who is the person competent to remove him from service. That person is competent to grant prosecution sanction. Okay. Now, and that at the time when the prosecution sanction has been given by the competent authority and it is being presented in the court, then it is the responsibility of the investigating authority to satisfy the court that all facts were presented before the competent authority, and competent authority has taken a considered view of its own. When the prosecution sanction order is being signed by the competent authority, it should look as if he has applied his mind independently. If the competent authority does not want to accept the request of the investigating agency to accord prosecution sanction, then it has to be sent to the commission for advice. If they do not want to accept the commission's advice also, then the case would be sent to DOPT for their comments, and but the final decision to grant prosecution sanction or not, that is to be taken by the competent authority only. Nobody can assume that part. As I said, that it has to be taken very judiciously by keeping the public interest in mind, because there is one clause that act unbecoming of a public servant. If the disciplinary authority is taking a decision which is not in public interest, it is an act unbecoming of a public servant, and action can be taken against the disciplinary authority also. Okay, now I think you want reconsideration of commission's advice. I have already told you that reconsideration only first stage, not at second stage, and that too within a period of 2 months, and with the new facts. Proposal for reconsideration should be sent with the approval of the either disciplinary authority or head of office or head of organization. Now, in section para 7.47.2 of Vigilance Manual, latest edition, modern time limits have been given. As you know that the Commission has been emphasizing on timely action in respect of disciplinary cases. So, for disciplinary matters, every action should be taken within a given time limit. Time limit is given there in detail, so I'm skipping it. This you can see from the our vigilance manual, para 7.47.2. Now, last is, as I told you, that Commission has a dedicated website, all the circulars, all the guidelines, Commission's annual reports, all relevant things which would help you in discharge of your duties, they would be available. They are available on Commission's website. Please take 5-10 minutes from your schedule to visit Commission's website. Many of your doubts will get cleared and you would be able to do your job in a more efficient way. That's my advice to you, and with that I end today's session. Thanks a lot for listening patiently, and more thanks for asking so many questions. It was as Bhattacharya said that, yeah.
Sir, one question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, after obtaining second stage advice,
Yeah.
if DA is still not agree with that, so in that case, what to do?
If you mean to say DA has issued orders,
We have obtained a second stage advice.
Yeah.
In that case, some penalty is decided,
yeah,
but DA still want to exonerate him.
yeah.
So in that case, what we have to do? Sir?
No, see, as commission is very clear, we will not entertain any such proposals. If he is exonerated the officer, the case would go to the commission's annual report, which is placed before the parliament. Next.
Sir,
Yeah.
ये supply of documents पे the last question. Prosecution section एक CBI का case है जिसमें कि they have supplied the documents to our chairman, seeking prosecution sanction from the PCI. Chairman has accorded the prosecution sanction.
Okay.
Subsequently, the judgment against him, the sanction has been accorded. He is asking for the documents based on which the sanction was accorded.
Who is asking?
The alleged officer against whom the sanction has been accorded.
He is not supposed to ask, it's for the court to ask.
He is asking the chairman through representation to please supply me the documents wherein you have recorded this prosecution section, and please also let me
Chairman,
know-
no need to further elaborate on the question. Chairman or any competent authority is under no obligation to supply any documents, anything to him. Simply write, we have accorded the prosecution sanction based on the rules, based on the procedure. You have no authority to seek this clarification or documents from me. Whatever you have to say, you have to say it in the court. That's all.
Secondly, he is filed an RTA application seeking the same question in
Same answer. Same question, same answer.
These things come, sir.
Huh?
These things come.
They will come. They will come. Yeah.
So complainants are asking the status of their complaints letter on. Are you sure to provide them?
See, you see, technically or legally, you are not bound to provide that status, but for the sake of transparency and in order to avoid unnecessary correspondence and later on court cases, representations, my advice to you is that whatever final result is there, at least that should be intimated to the complainant. He sent a complaint to you, maybe you take it up for investigation or you filed it. Whatever final action you have taken, intimate that it was found to be vague, we filed it on investigation, the allegations were found to be unsubstantiated, be closed. It should be provided. But you are legally not bound to provide it.
Whether the 50 complainant received it out of the investigation report.
Pardon?
50 complainant.
You don't know who the complainant is, how he would ask you.
No, the CVC sent it any outcome of the action taken against the complaint.
This CVC is sending to PTP complainant, but CVC is not.
Yeah.
No, see, we are not telling you who the complainant is.
No, no, sir. Complainant can receive, can to know whether the action was taken or not.
You mean to say a PTP complainant is asking you that I made a complaint.
So actually recently this 3 months campaign we opened a 50 camp.
Yeah,
gallery.
yeah.
Lot of people raising the questions whether I made a complaint, whether I can get to know the outcome of the complaint. Action taken against the
No, so
Outcome of the complaint.
outcome of the complainant, you see, you tell them that for that you have to approach the commission as far as the organization is concerned. It does not know who the complainant is. It is not going to provide any information to anybody about PTP complaints. And in the commission also, we are requesting the complainants not to enter into multiple correspondence with the commission, because the main responsibility is to maintain confidentiality about the identity of the complainant, and repeated correspondence exposes the complainant to public. Okay, about the final outcome, we are giving him a dedicated number, through that he may come to know, but that is between the commission and him.
Sir, during this PTP awareness,
Yeah.
same question arises that they are saying, sir, we are providing the complaint in the PTP, and what they want is, what major session is saying that the secretary or CBO ministry who will be handling my first complaint, whatever outcome is coming, that should be sent to us. Means the complainant should at the end should know that when he has complained under PTP from same authority who has done the veracity, he should be knowing that there should be some procedure.
It is a suggestion by them.
Yeah.
It is a suggestion by them.
Yeah, that
So you
can
can,
be
after this 3 months campaign is over, you would be sending an action taken report to the commission. So you raise this issue, highlight this issue, that complainants are requesting for to be intimated to them, including PTP complaints. So what can the commission do on that? We are already seized of this matter, we are considering the issue, but we are also taking into consideration various aspects. That first, the workload on the vigilance officials. Secondly, the officer against whom complaint has been made. You see, if a complaint has been made against an officer, it does not mean that he can be exposed to anything. You see, he also has got a reputation to protect. All complaints are not genuine complaints. You know that. So we have to balance. That the identity of the, we have to take into consideration the fact that a complaint may be genuine or may not be genuine. So, unnecessarily exposing these officers against whom complaints have been made and telling them that no, we have issued a warning to him or we have issued this thing, that also has to be considered. So every aspect of this issue is being considered by the commission, and maybe very soon we will come out with a solution. But whatever they have, you can flag it to the commission, we will take it into account. When we are finalizing this vigilance manual, the complaint handling policy is also being considered, or it should also be revised. So we will take due note of it. But it's a good suggestion that final outcome at least can be intimated to him. How to do that, we will see. And in case you have any solution in mind, please come forward with that solution also. Okay. So I think that's all for the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session. Time was less, but you covered most of the things. So we are grateful for that. Now I would like to request DK Jha sir and NK Jha sir to present a memento to Rajiv Verma sir as a token of love and gratitude from IICM. Please. Thank you, sir. Now we will proceed for lunch, and I will request everyone try to wrap up in half an hour. Thank you. Thank you so much.